As we go into our first world, Tide of Terror, we are introduced to our first villain, Sir Raleigh the Frog. This cutscene tells his backstory of how he was bored of being rich, turned to pirating ships, and became addicted to crime, and this led him to joining the Fiendish Five. His role in the Fiendish Five is the Chief Machinist. This is something I don't get from his cutscene up until this point. What in this cutscene, so far, hinted to us that he was a master of tinkering with machines. This, I think, could have been told to us in a different way. Maybe having Raleigh be neglected and tinker with machines to pass the time could have worked here, and that could have led to his life of crime. But nope, he just has a knack for tinkering with machines, and that's it. Sir Raleigh is said to be somewhere off the far coast of Iraq in the Welsh Triangle. The Welsh Triangle is the real world's equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle. I love the cutscenes that introduce the villains of the Sly Cooper series because they tell the villain's backstory, motivation, and why they turn to crime. Raleigh has one of the weakest backstories of all the villains, but I still like this cutscene. Time for gameplay, and this is where I sadly discovered that the camera cannot be modified. You can modify it for other gameplay styles in this game, but not for Sly's regular gameplay, which is dumb. Anyway, in the beginning levels, there are a ton of cutscenes to tell you how to get around and what to do. We are told that in order to get to Raleigh's hideout, we need to get over the gate by either using the ladder, which it tells you about, or you can crawl on the ropes by using the circle button when you get near them, which is not told to you. This is where I bring up again the blue aura that signals the use of a circle button move is not present on the ladder or rope, even though you can use the circle button on them. I don't know why this is, but luckily it is fixed in the sequels. If you go to the left to the ship and not towards Raleigh's hideout right away, you can find some clue bottles there. Clue bottles are not mandatory to get, but they unlock pages for the Thievius Raccoonus, and therefore a new move. The game will tell you how many clue bottles there are in each level, and I like the idea of looking around the level and being rewarded with new moves if you collect all the bottles in the level and find the safe. We then go past the gate to Raleigh's hideout, and are introduced to the spotlight system. These are like the lasers in the first level. Spotted once, the spotlights turn red and the alarm goes off. Spotted twice, and you die. We also learn about the checkpoint system in the game. Bentley has sent these mechanical devices called signal repeaters that, when you get close to them, checkpoints your progress, so if you die, you are brought back to the last checkpoint you were at. This may be a minor thing that Sly Cooper fans bring up a lot, but I love that when you get near an enemy, they start attacking you, and the music changes and is more action-packed. This is such a small detail they did not need to put into the game, but it adds excitement to the game, and I love it. Even though every enemy that isn't a boss goes down in one hit. We then get a glimpse of Raleigh's hideout from afar, and see that all the wrecked ships were Raleigh's doing, thanks to his storm machine, and that is why the Welsh Triangle is as infamous as it is. Continuing on, we are introduced to hooks that Sly can swing on with the circle button. Again, where's the blue aura? Okay, I'm not going to say any more about that, but it is weird that circle button moves don't have the blue aura to say you can interact with them in this game. Near the end of the level, we are introduced to the level's vault. Once you collect all the clue bottles in the level, Bentley tells you what the code is to get inside. I should also note that the order in which you open the safes doesn't matter. You get the same power-ups in the same order no matter what safe you open or in what order. I think this is a little weird, but it doesn't hinder the game at all to me. This first safe introduces us to the dive maneuver. Simply put, press the triangle button to do a dive in front of you. This is rarely helpful, since it pretty much does the same thing as Sly's regular attack, and it has a recovery animation to boot. You can't spam dive attacks like you can with Sly's regular attacks. You can kind of combo attack it with your regular attacks, but everything dies in one hit in this game, so even that's not helpful. Just past the safe is a key that we need to get into the more secure portion of Raleigh's hideout. The keys are also world specific, so this key can only unlock stuff in Raleigh's hideout. Usually this ends the level right away, but in the opening levels we unlock the gate, jump into the glow, and head to the hideout's overworld. Overall, this opening level is fine. I don't dislike it, but there really isn't anything special about it either. It's a tutorial level at its finest. The overworld for Tide of Terror is called Prowling the Grounds. We first need to get to the main portion of the overworld by jumping across the water to reach the boat. We're told that the storm machine is the most secure portion of the hideout, so Raleigh must be there. Each overworld is split into two parts. The first part is accessed right away. The second part is accessed by getting 3 keys total from that world. In order to get to the second part of this overworld, we need to sneak through a tube that is filled with electricity. We need 3 keys total in order to smash the electrical system for the tube in order to get to the second part of the hideout. The first portions of all the hideouts aren't bad, but later you will need all the keys to get to the boss of each world, but I'll talk about that later. We also learn that the glow we jumped into to get to the overworld indicates where different keys are hiding. To put it in simple terms, you head to the glow and you start a level. When we start jumping over to the main part of the overworld, we come across a lucky charm. This will allow us to take an extra hit. You can carry up to 2 lucky charms at once, but if you get a third one, the game doesn't really know what to do with it and acts like you collected it, only for the lucky charm to fall to the ground. This is funny, but I don't think it was intentional at all. While exploring the overworld, Bentley will tell you that if you see a wheel on the ground that can spin, you can run along it and something will happen. Bentley tells you this in a very scientific way, and Sly translates for the player with Bentley saying, "Isn't that what I just said?" As if it was so clear that he just said that. I love interactions like this in the Sly Cooper series. It adds a lot of charm to the characters. What I like most about the overworlds is that they aren't very big and the levels aren't that far apart from each other. Sometimes games tend to make their overworlds as big as possible, look at Sonic 06, but small is usually the way to go in a game like this.